Affordable housing is, I've actually introduced legislation, H.R. 4144, that deals with affordable housing in the area. And the foreclosure has been a major catastrophe for a lot of us. We're fourth in the nation in foreclosure, and it's the idea of the American dream to put people back into their homes. I think that we've got to do whatever we can to change how the regulations were done, where many people got into homes that should have never gotten into homes. We should have had the oversight, the accountability that should have been there, the transparency that should have been done during that period of time. We did not do that. So many people ended up losing their homes that should have never have gotten into those homes. We've got to make sure that we have the kind of regulations by both the banking industries as well to make sure that people can get into a home, can afford to stay in those homes, and allow them to stay in those homes. And I think that's where the banking industry has got to do a better audit of the individuals based on their income. And if they can't afford to get in a home, and if they can't, then they've got to say, hey, you know what, you can't afford to live in this home. I mean, they're the ones that made that decision, and that's why we've had a lot of foreclosures. They allowed people into homes that couldn't afford it, and then they got into the variables that went high, and a lot of people didn't understand that. That's why education becomes important in terms of what are you signing in terms of that dotted line. Do you have a fixed loan? Do you have variable? Or do you have others? And people have got to know exactly what they're getting into. And a lot of times, a lot of people didn't look into what they were getting into, and that led to a lot of the problems. So I want to make sure that I continue to help to allow people to go back into their homes. Well, this is where a lot of the construction jobs that have been in the area have been good in terms of the jobs that have been created. A lot of the construction have brought permanent jobs or jobs into the area. We've got to look at manufacturers that can come into the area. We've got to look at trade, at what kind of international trade or businesses that can come into this area. We've got to work with the counties, the cities, in developing master plans, in trying to attract businesses into the area, which are the kind of jobs that they'll bring those high-paying jobs in the area, and we've got to support those. And then if there's areas that we can provide tax incentives, tax breaks for them, we've got to do that. That's why I've looked at economic development, tax incentives and tax breaks to attract businesses. The Lamprey has an excellent opportunity right here at Norton Air Force Base to attract businesses in the area. But what are we all doing jointly together? I think we've all got to be part of the same team and trying to make sure that we attract those and say that this is a friendly climate, that this is a good climate in a good area, and that we've got to make sure that we market it from a positive perspective in making sure that those manufacturers with good paying jobs come into the area and saying that we have good quality education, good environment in the area, because that becomes very important for a lot of us when people decide where they're going to move. I mean, you look at the area.